why is self-belief so hard in midlife? Well, for a lot of women, the 40s and the 50s bring what I call the confidence dip. Maybe you've taken a career break to raise children, or maybe you've been made redundant, or you've been caregiving your aging parents, or you've been out of the game for a little while, and the world has moved on without you. Not to mention perimenopause and the impact it has on your brain and your body. And suddenly you're looking around thinking, I don't know how to use TikTok. I don't understand algorithms. AI, forget it. Welcome to the Dare to Be Brave podcast. I'm your host, Joy Foster, master neurocoach, life mastery consultant, and founder of the multi-award-winning TechPixies and the Quantum Leap Accelerator, a transformational leadership program for ambitious, high-achieving women who want to live a holistic life, one in which their career or their business flourishes while at the same time feeling healthy and happy in themselves. This show is for midlife women who want more and are ready to transform themselves. Each week, we'll explore mindset shifts, neuroscience insights, and real-life stories from women who've navigated powerful life transitions. As a former athlete turned accidental entrepreneur, I spent the last decade helping thousands of women return to work, change careers, or start a business. And now I'm helping women take bold steps into leadership and self-mastery. At the end of every episode, you'll get a brave dare, a specific, actionable challenge to help you move forward, heal, and take agency over your life. Today, we're talking about self-belief, specifically how to keep believing in yourself when everything around you is telling you not to. Here's the thing. Self-belief isn't something you're born with. It's not a personality trait. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, you can build it. So if you've been struggling with confidence, with doubt, with that voice in your head that says, who do you think you are? This episode is for you. We're going to talk about what self-belief actually is, why it's so hard to maintain in midlife, and most importantly, the daily habits that will help you to build it back up. And if you're thinking, I want to build this kind of unshakable self-belief, but I need some support, I've got a perfect opportunity for you. Hang in there and I'll tell you more about it at the end of this episode. Right, let's talk about believing in yourself. So why is self-belief so hard in midlife? Well, for a lot of women, the 40s and the 50s bring what I call the confidence dip. Maybe you've taken a career break to raise children, or maybe you've been made redundant, or you've been caregiving your aging parents, or you've been out of the game for a little while, and the world has moved on without you. Not to mention perimenopause and the impact it has on your brain and your body. And suddenly you're looking around thinking, I don't know how to use TikTok. I don't understand algorithms. AI, forget it. Everyone else seems to have figured it out. I'm completely lost. On top of that, society sends this constant message that we're past our prime, that we're invisible, that younger, shinier people are more valuable. And here's what happens in your brain. Every time you think a negative thought about yourself, I'm too old, I'm not good enough, I missed my chance, you're reinforcing a neural pathway. You're deepening that groove in your brain. And the more you think those thoughts, the more automatic they become, until one day you don't even question them anymore. They feel like the truth. But here's the good news. Your brain is capable of neuroplasticity at any age, which means you can rewire it. You can create new neural pathways that support self-belief instead of self-doubt. It's not easy, but it's possible, and it starts with small daily habits. So to illustrate this point, let me tell you a story about a time when I was lacking self-belief. They say those who take great risks gain great rewards. The problem is sometimes those risks don't pay off, as was the case nearly 4 years ago when I found myself in a precarious situation. In October 2021, I made some marketing decisions that felt right at the time, but in retrospect didn't work out, and we lost all the cash in the business almost overnight. It had a huge negative impact on my confidence. It didn't help that my investors were suggesting that we throw the towel in. I had to make a decision to give up or keep going. Thankfully, right about that time, I attended the most amazing 3-day online workshop on brave thinking. I walked into the workshop thinking I might have to shut my business down, and I left the workshop thinking I could turn things around. You're probably curious about some of the tools that I learned on the workshop that helped me rebuild my self-belief so I could keep my business going when everyone thought I should walk away. So I thought it would be helpful to break down 5 daily habits that I've used to help me become more confident. Habit number 1, start and end the day with gratitude and vision, not your phone. This one's simple but powerful. The first few minutes and the last few minutes of your day are critical to your ability to function as the best version of yourself. If you wake up immediately grabbing your phone, checking emails, scrolling social media, consuming other people's content, you're starting the day in a reactive mode. You're letting the world tell you what to think and feel. And if you go to bed and the last thing you look at is your phone, you'll not only disrupt your sleep, but you'll also impact what your brain focuses on while you sleep. Believe it or not, your brain is very active while you're sleeping. It's consolidating your memory, it's removing toxins, it's processing all the learning and emotions that you went through in the day. Basically, it's cleaning itself for the next day. So the last thing you put your attention on really matters. The trick is, if you start and end your day with gratitude and vision, you're priming your brain for agency and not reactivity. So here's what I do. Before I touch my phone, I take a few minutes to feel my aliveness. I start with my toes and I work my way up through my ankles, my legs, my hips, my stomach, my chest, my neck, my arms, my shoulders, and my head. I then lean into gratitude, being grateful for a brand new baby day. It took me a while to really feel gratitude, but when I did, it was magical. And then I lean into my vision. I think about what I would love in all areas of my life: health and well-being, love and relationships, vocation and creative expression, and time, money, freedom. I do a similar exercise at night before I go to bed, which leads me to habit number 2, journaling. This is one of my favorite tools. It's incredibly simple and it doesn't take more than a couple minutes to do. Every day before I go to bed, I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for and 3 wins for the day. I even write down 3 wins I'm anticipating tomorrow, so my brain has something positive to work on while I'm sleeping. Why does this work? It works because your brain has a negativity bias. It's constantly scanning for what's wrong, what's scary, what's not working. And if you don't actively train it to look for what is working, it won't. So you have to deliberately collect evidence of your wins, and over time, your brain will start to expect things to go well. It will look for the wins, and not only will you be happier, but you'll feel better about yourself and your capabilities. All right, habit number 3. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself, because most of us speak to ourselves in a way we would never speak to a friend. We say things like, "I'm rubbish at this," or "I always mess things up," or "I'm too old, too slow, too late." And here's the thing, your brain believes what you tell it. So practice this. When you catch yourself thinking something harsh, pause. Take a deep breath and reframe it. Instead of saying, "I'm rubbish at this," try, "Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better." Instead of saying, "I always mess things up," try, "I'm doing the best that I can at the level of awareness that I have." Instead of saying, "I'm too old," try, "I'm experienced." Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Stand guard at the portal of your mind." It may sound simple, but it does take effort. Just remember that the language you use shapes your neural pathways. You are not the thought. You are the thinker of the thought, and the thought can be changed. All right, let's get into habit number 4. Do one hard thing every day. Confidence doesn't come from thinking positive thoughts. It comes from action. So every day, do one hard thing. It doesn't have to be massive. Send the scary email. Have the difficult conversation. Post the thing you're nervous to post. Because every time you do something hard and then survive, your brain recalibrates. It thinks, "Oh, maybe I can handle more than I thought." Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has studied how parts of your brain grow when you do hard things. And equally, if you don't do hard things, that same area of your brain atrophies. What would you rather have, a bigger brain or an atrophied one? Small, brave actions adds up. It's a snowball effect. One brave action leads to another and another and another. And over time, as you continue to push yourself out of your comfort zone and do uncomfortable things, your confidence will grow as a byproduct. And the final habit, habit number 5, spend more time with partners in believing and less time with sacred friends. You cannot build self-belief in isolation. You need people who see your potential, especially on the days when you can't. I call these people your partners in believing. Pay attention to who you're spending time with. Are they dream crushers or are they cheerleaders? People who don't believe in your dreams or who try and talk you out of them are what I like to call sacred friends. I misspelt it once and I wrote scared instead of sacred. That is exactly what they are. They are scared things won't work out for you, so they try and talk you out of doing whatever it is you want to do. It's not just people you have to think about. It's important to take a look at what you're consuming. Are you following social media accounts that inspire you or make you feel less than? Are you consuming clickbait news that fills you with dread? A couple of years ago, I made a decision to stop watching the news. I learned really quickly that I didn't have to consume the news to know what was going on in the world. If it was important, I'd somehow find out about it. You get to curate your inputs, so choose wisely. I think about the TechPixies Facebook group, where women show up every single day and cheer each other on. They celebrate wins, they lift each other up, they remind each other that they're capable. And that community, that's where transformation happens. So find your people. And if you don't have them yet, come find us. All right. As you know, at the end of each podcast, I dare you to be brave. I want you to pick one of these 5 habits and give it a go and let me know how you get on. Let's bring this home. Self-belief isn't something you wait for. It's a muscle you build. One small action at a time, one kind word to yourself at a time, one brave step at a time. And if you'd like to improve your self-belief and confidence when it comes to social media, you might want to check out our 21 Days Social Media Confidence Challenge. You can find out more at techpixies.com/SMC21. Next week, we're talking about finding yourself again after motherhood. If you've ever felt like you've lost yourself in the role of mom, you won't want to miss it. Until then, keep daring to be brave, and thanks for listening. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dare to Be Brave podcast. Make sure to rate it and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. New episodes are dropping each week, and I can't wait for you to tune in next time. Until then, be brave, and thanks for listening. Bye for now.